Good morning, Lagos, and welcome inside the locker room on Smooth Breakfast with Valentine.
And Folu.
And we've got Tega Onojaife in the building.
Hey,
Good
Tega.
morning, Tega.
Good morning.
Excellent. Yes, the cold is seeping into the bones this morning.
Oh, guys, the weather is beautiful this morning.
He just ate.
Outside.
Folu, he
No,
just ate.
okay, so he's
I'm not talking about the weather in my stomach. I'm talking
No,
about the
we
weather
were talking
out
about
there.
the weather in the studio.
It's breakfast time, though.
It's sub-zero. Okay, but we are going to be talking sports for the rest of from now till just before 9 o'clock. So make sure you tune in. Send in your messages to us, all right, on our different platforms.
Yes, you can send it to us on Twitter at Smooth981FM. Use that hashtag LockerRoom981. Also send it to us on WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp number for messages only is 0809-444-0981. And on YouTube, leave a comment in the comment section at youtube.com/Smooth981FM Lagos.
All right. Our first story is in. Let's talk about the Libya Football Federation that have moved the Africa Cup of Nations qualification match against Nigeria Super Eagles to Tunisia. Now, the first leg of the double-header qualification game is billed for Kaduna on the 10th of October, while the second leg will be played in Tunisia on the 14th of October in a yet-to-be-named stadium. The Libyan coach, Adel Amrouche, had tried to convince the Libyan Federation to play the game in Algeria in his homeland in order to gain public support. However, the LFF decided the match should be held in Tunisia.
Yeah, they're thinking public. Support for you as against support or closeness to where we are. We are going with Tunisia.
Yeah.
but Libya hasn't been able to play a home game because of the civil unrest in their country. So their home games are usually away games too, which is where they wouldn't have an advantage, but that team doesn't send anywhere they'll put up.
Yep.
So I guess regardless of what it is, the Nigerian team just have to be aware. August 10th is not so far away, just a couple of weeks away, and so Geloro and his boys should be prepared.
Nice. Now let's talk FIFA and Nigeria. So FIFA on Monday named Messrs. Luca Piazza and Solomon Mudege as its observers in Thursday's elections into the Nigeria Football Federation NFF Executive Committee 2018 to 2022. A statement by Ademola Olajire, who's the NFF's Director of Communications, on Monday also said that the Confederation of African Football (CAF) designated a member of its executive committee, that's Mr. Sita Shangari, as its observer to the big event. It said this was communicated through a letter addressed to the NFF General Secretary Mohammed Sanusi and signed by CAF Secretary General Amir Fahmy.
Yes, so this election that someone caught in just and the ministers are trying to rubbish. FIFA and CAF have endorsed it and said, you know what,
Quickly.
this election will happen. And I think it's just ridiculous. I don't again I say it, I don't care what your grouse is. The fact is, September was a chosen date for elections. If you wanted anybody removed, it was time for you after the World Cup to start planning on how to remove the person. You fought it. The date has come. FIFA has released the people to oversee the elections. They are endorsing the elections, whether you like it or not. And FIFA is the governing body. Except Nigerian football wants to run by itself. They don't want to be a part of FIFA. Then it's fine, they can do what they want. But as long as they want to be a part of FIFA, then they have to follow what FIFA is doing. And for FIFA to send their people, yes, they are endorsing it. So tomorrow in Katsina, oh Lord have mercy, it's going to be another one.
It's going to be interesting.
Like every election in Nigeria, we pray there's no appeal.
Amen.
Another repeal. We hope that there's nobody holding tear gas and there's no DSS and there's
For
no
NFF elections.
Oh, NFF election, DSS is always involved. It's not like
That's
it's
serious.
that it's part of the plan. Somebody will be picked, somebody will be searched, somebody will be stripped. There's something. DSS is always any election. In fact, if you try anyhow now, student union election, there'll be DSS involved. So let's see how it's going to go. There's of course there's already been stories about people telling presidents and stuff, take care of yourself, don't take care of yourself, watch your way. Security agencies are already writing to people that they should protect themselves because of these elections. Oh yes, every election in Nigeria is serious. So we can't wait for Thursday to happen. It's tomorrow. So
Tomorrow.
let's see how it happens.
I can't wait for this next story because I need an explanation. Nick Kyrgios. So everyone listen up very closely. Okay, let's talk some tennis, shall we? Umpire Mohammed Lahyani has been suspended from his next 2 scheduled tournaments after, wait for it, he tried to encourage Nick Kyrgios during a match at the US Open. The statement reads, Lahyani's actions in the match were deemed to have compromised the impartiality that is required of an official. Lahyani will return to work at the Instrum Stockholm Open in October. Despite the incident taking place at the US Open under the United States Tennis Association, the incident was still subject to ATP disciplinary action due to Lahyani's position as a full-time ATP employee and the high standards that the ATP requires of its chair umpires, regardless of the event to which he or she is assigned, in order to maintain the integrity of the tour.
Okay, so let's just end it now.
Wow.
This is the fallout of Serena's
Exactly.
anger. At the end of the day, Serena's anger is beginning to do so because ATP on a normal day will not review it. I mean, especially as USTA continue to let him referee matches.
Yes.
It was an incident that we talked about when it happened. We moved on. Everybody moved on. But ever since that Serena rant,
Yes.
you just hear now, Carlos has warned Marin Cilic for breaking a racket. It did used to make the news before,
you.
but suddenly, just so that they can look, it's 2 things. They want to either prove that Serena sexism allegations are not true.
Yes,
Number 1,
yes.
they want to stand by their umpires. Number 2, or they want to say, okay, you know what? Let's not give the world something to talk about. But what it is that
giving the world something to
what
talk
it is
about.
that Serena has made has made a stand that now everybody's looking at. So some people come and say, but since he punished man, does it mean that Serena was lying? No, it doesn't mean it.
It means because they've caught it. This is
Yeah,
the second time he's done it.
they've caught him, so he's they're trying to make everything look good. So all those people that are saying Serena is just badly behaved, no doubt. She could have been calmer. I'm sure if it was Venus Williams, she'd not be that angry.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure if Serena hadn't just had a baby as well, she probably wouldn't have reacted that way.
They're not even. She probably would have. If Serena, she's a fighter.
But she would have reasoned it out.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? She probably, because she was very insistent.
she
I
was-
did go back and watch it.
she was like,
very insistent.
You have to
owe me an
apologize.
apology.
Yeah. So whatever it is, at the end of the day, it has caused some changes to happen, and we are going to continue to see those changes over at least for the next few months. Maybe people will forget about it next year, but between now to December,
Gonna be
those
cracking
changes.
down
I'm
on the
telling
umpires.
you.
I will not
Good,
forget. I will
good,
not forget. I mean,
good.
it's a good thing that
Even the
people pay-
umpires will now be cracking down on the male players because it has already started to
Yes,
happen.
yes. Let's pay more attention to the umpires. So Mauricio Pochettino said is accusing journalists of disrespecting his players after Tottenham opened their Champions League campaign with a 2-1 defeat at Inter Milan. It was the first time Tottenham had lost 3 times in a row under Pochettino, who opted to leave Kieran Trippier and Toby Alderweireld at home due to technical reasons. According to him, according to Mauricio Pochettino, he said against Watford and against Liverpool, they were on the pitch. Wow, what a question. Such an easy question, eh? Easy target, he said. It's easy to talk about the players that aren't here. I think we need to talk about football because, I think you forced me to say something that is not good. You disrespect the players that today showed better qualities than the opponents. Why disrespect the players that aren't on the pitch? You can blame me and say, Gaffer, you were so rubbish in your selection of the starting 11, but please do not disrespect the players who are playing because it's my decision. Kieran Trippier, Toby Alderweireld, we have 25 players.
Yes. Bottom line. So after the loss, Tottenham had yesterday against Inter Milan at the San Siro, I must say, people started picking up on his team selection. Why would you take Toby Alderweireld, and why would you take Kieran Trippier? And he's saying, look, the last 2 defeats we had, those 2 guys were involved. We still lost. The fact that we lost here again doesn't mean that it was because they were not there. It's just the place we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
So we have 3 straight losses, and we have to find a solution. And I don't think it's about missing players. I think all this disrespect to my players and that is just him boiling over. He hasn't seen it in. I mean, this is a crisis situation now for Tottenham. 3 losses back to back. Harry Kane not performing. It is, for him, it is a serious crisis situation. It's how he'll get out of it. So if you start pointing fingers about your team selection, the players that didn't show up, the players that turned up, exactly, he's going to scratch out your eyes. He's going to scratch out your eyes. But Tottenham really need to find a way to come out of this.
Oh, you see him on the sidelines up on our screen, but we've got to take a very quick break. When we come back, we will be continuing with the sports conversations and your messages. So please keep them coming in to 0809 444 0981 on WhatsApp or by simply tweeting at us using the hashtag LockerRoom981.
Hello?
In Lagos all my life.
Folu,
Mm-hmm.
please can you help me with something? Not today.
What's up?
I would need your camera, not to borrow or take it away. Like maybe I will use it in the studio one of these days.
Okay.
I want to record
Anything you want.
Okay.
3 short videos, 60-second clips.
And when I travel out,
Just let me know when.
I'm always glad to be in Lagos because it's my Lagos. This is your love music, love life station.
This puff cereal is one of my latest discoveries. The new golden one
Got
puffs.
to be
What's it
the-
really made of? Super intelligence activated. Maize, millet, oats, soya, and grain smart.
Tega.
Special blend of vitamins and iron. Got it
So
charged
next week,
up for school.
what's going to happen?
School, every home will be
You guys are gonna be alright.
Who's actually coming in?
There'll be somebody, sha. That's much I can tell you. But this baby's gone. Till November.
That's a wicked laugh.
Unapologetically gone.
25BQ belonging to Stephen
that's true.
Appan has come through for him
Listening to
many
this song
times. Like the day he gave a pretty girl a lift, they gisted all the way.
Yep.
She later became his girlfriend. Or the day he locked himself out of the house and he had to pass the night in his car. Oh yeah, and that day rain flooded everywhere and cars were filling up with water. His car was the only one that made it through. Osha pra pra, as he fondly calls his car,
Ocean
has been
State.
his lifesaver. And now that it's time for him to sell it, we will make sure the process is hassle-free. Sell your car with no wahala to Cash 45 and get paid in 45 minutes. Log on to cash45.com or visit any Cash 45 inspection center near you.
Because people going places live an active life, they need a reliable roll-on to keep them fresher for longer. So they trust the new Dubai Roll-On. The new Dubai range of roll-ons is
I need to
expert
do my
designed to
hair.
stay fresh all day long.
Yeah, that's it.
Dubai, freshness gets you further.
No, are they white or blue?
Blue.
No, they are blue, yeah.
Get me king is fire. Okay, there we go.
Come up with messages, please.
Excuse me.
ARM entrance. Tomorrow is looking good.
Studio. Oh yes, so jazzy. Welcome back inside the locker room. We're still talking sports and we're going over to your messages.
Ogbeni Femi sent in this one on Twitter. He said, Pochettino lost 3 games in a row, but no one is saying he should change his tactics. His players do not want to play for him, or he'll be gone in December. Imagine if Mourinho said this.
Sorry, no, don't be angry.
Another one from Eniola from Oshodi says, FIFA should look inwards and forget about Sokoto. Nigeria has too many weirdos and will depreciate the value of their ethics and integrity. Fresh air, please.
I'm so confused. And that's borderline rude, Aniola.
Yeah,
a little,
very.
little bit rude there. Not really sure what that means. But James from Marine Beach also up on WhatsApp where Eniola's message came from. Correct reply from a true manager. Jose would have openly mentioned names of some players being the reason that they lost games. Oh, goodness. Well, Chimabi Victor says PSG show that they are local champions with the way that they capitulated against Liverpool, with the star that they paraded in that team. While for Lionel Messi, he was a joy to watch last night. Also talking about the NFF elections, saying that the election will hold with the whole of this. I don't know what that means, but basically says, please let the elections be free and fair. NFF. All right.
And the Slim from Ikotu said, I think Spurs should go back to Russia to look for the real Harry Kane, because I'm beginning to doubt that dude wearing Kane's jersey.
People now. Just small respect. Anyways, let's keep it moving. Up next, Sergio Ramos has taken a dig at Antoine Griezmann after the French forward said that he was on par with Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo and had his eyes on the Ballon d'Or. Speaking ahead of Real Madrid's Champions League opener against Roma on Wednesday, Ramos had said, ignorance makes you very bold. When I hear this kid talk, I remember players like Francesco Totti, Raul, Gianluigi Buffon, Casillas, Maldini, Xavi, or Iniesta, who have won everything but not the Ballon d'Or. Listen, everyone is free to express their opinion, but I think that he should take the advice of Diego Simeone and Godin or Koke, who represent the values that serve them, that's Atletico Madrid, well.
Okay.
Wow.
Let me tell you. Yes, the thing about Sergio Ramos. Look, Sergio Ramos is right. Griezmann is right, and I will tell you why both of them are right. For players like Sergio Ramos, he cannot. For Griezmann to come and say he eats at the same table with Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, he can't even comprehend it. How dare you?
What are
you talking about? You're not even on the same planet.
I'm sure when he heard it, he was just like, but what?
His brain was almost short-circuited. He just couldn't hack it. But what I understand from, I mean, that's, and he's right in that aspect that, look, don't begin to, and we do it all the time in the media. Next thing, once somebody starts scoring goal, is he the next? I mean, Mbappe's own is the one that got to me. He's fast like Cristiano Ronaldo. He dribbles like Lionel Messi. I'm like, dude, is it the Kylian Mbappe I'm watching, or there's another Mbappe that's about to come into life? But sometimes players do that to themselves. However, I still think that the Ballon d'Or should be down to how well you perform in the year, not what a fantastic footballer you are, but how fantastic was your year. And based on how fantastic was your year, I understand why Griezmann thinks that, yes, I should be on that list. Don't say I'm eating at the same table with Messi. Just say because of my year, I should be on that list. But what you say,
you know, English is never one strong suit. So...
But he said it in Spanish. Why is it?
Wow.
Why is it like that?
No, but you know, language. You know, let me help him. You know,
So,
goal scoring is his thing.
Okay.
Construction of sentence.
But we forgive his ignorance, like he said. Ignorance makes people. We forgive his ignorance. But what it is that Sergio Ramos now has to concentrate on Roma. That's who they face this evening, and that's the team that they need to beat. Roma coming from the high of what they did against Barcelona last season, thinking that they could do one over Liverpool, but they just fell short at the last minute. And so at this particular time, Roma would be going with a little bit of confidence, and Real Madrid a little bit shaky considering the result they had over the weekend, and the fact that they've been changing guards both in coaching and in their key players. So let's see how it turns out for Real Madrid, but that should be right now Sergio Ramos' focus, not schooling Antoine Griezmann, even if he did a good job of it.
He did do a good job of it, I will say. Very entertaining.
So we have a very happy Jurgen Klopp in this one. Jurgen Klopp said Daniel Sturridge is in the best shape he's ever been in the last 3 years after he scored in Liverpool's Champions League win over Paris Saint-Germain. In his words, Klopp said, it was a great performance by Daniel. The three in the midfield did an outstanding job, but they can only do it when the two wingers and the number 9 are helping in all these situations to keep the formation compact. It was fantastic. I said to Daniel before the game, you're in the best shape since I've known you, physically wise, so now you have to use that. That's what he did. Super game, super goal. He later added, when you have Bobby Firmino available, it's always like, come on. But it was nice to see Daniel's performance. He's 100% paid us back. It's so cool for us and for him.
Yeah, I think it was great to see. I mean, Daniel Sturridge got the nod in because of that eye injury to Firmino. Sorry, eye scratch. Let me not call it injury, so it will be like he's Joe Fraser or something. But yeah, that scratch on his eye. And Sturridge gets in the starting lineup, and he makes all the difference. Because first thing, he gets the first goal, and then he gets the penalty that James Milner scored to give them a 2-goal lead. But here's what they did wrong. Again, this is where I question Liverpool. And like this season, I haven't yet seen Liverpool tested. I know somebody's going to say, but they've played Tottenham and they've played PSG. Yes, but they've played a poor performing Tottenham and a poor performing PSG. Because what happens is you go 2 goals up against a PSG side that looks very scattered, looks very uninterested, and is very laid back, and you still gave them the opportunity to come back and even that game at 2-2. Granted, PSG even the game at 2-2 because of the quality of players they have in their side, but every big name player yesterday for PSG underperformed. From the defense with Thiago Silva, who didn't pick up Daniel Sturridge, to Neymar, who was totally lost, to Cavani, who I didn't see for most of the game, to even Mbappe. He scored 1 goal, but it was when he lost the ball the second time that he led to Bobby Firmino scoring the winning goal. So you look at the PSG players all over the pitch. There were too many players not picking up the slack, too many players not carrying their weight, and at the end of the day, that poor team was still able to drag themselves back to almost leave Anfield with a point. So I say this to Liverpool: football is a game of 95 minutes. Play for 95 minutes, yeah.
All right, let's see if we can take a couple of messages. Micah says, Arthur looks at home in Barca's midfield. Liverpool is on fire, though. UCL is back. Abash from Yama says, did I not tell you that Tottenham is in crisis? See the standards with the press. Look at Pochettino getting all aggressive with a little pressure from the media. Why won't Jose mention a player playing badly, if ever that's happened? And then this one is in from Goodwill Yamu from Ojodu, who says, Serena has sneezed and tennis officials are catching cold. Tottenham has a tired and uninspired team right now, and tired Kane's non-performance is worsening it. Liverpool almost slipped up with Salah's errors, but they have shown that they're a team to beat this season, especially with an improved defense and compact team. And I want you guys' opinion on this. Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man U. Which of them will be most difficult for the other teams this season?
Keep listening.
We'll find out. Emma from Akoka starts with a song. Walk on. I don't know the tone for this one.
What are you doing?
With hope in your heart, and you never walk alone.
You don't know this song.
Never walk alone. It's okay, Liverpool. We see you in Liverpool. Shout out to you guys.
Keep that. Adifa David said, good morning, guys. What a superb win. What a superb win for Inter Milan. PSG, they are just like Abba made. Shame on Tottenham. They need serious weeping. But I'm wishing United a big congratulations in advance.
All right. And Ugo from BI says, first and foremost, it was Wijnaldum who won the penalty. That's the best name. That's the best I could do with his name. Not Sturridge. And secondly, you never have anything nice to say about Liverpool. You had better things to say about Tottenham, and they lost. Says Ugo from BI. Sorry.
Ugo, you'll be all right. Last. Next.
All right, up next, Ernesto Valverde hailed the performance of Lionel Messi after his hat-trick helped Barcelona to a 4-0 win against PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League. Messi does extraordinary things and makes them look routine, the Barcelona manager said, and when he stops playing, it will be difficult to find someone like him. It's a relief to have him on your team and a nightmare to have him against you.
Yes. Had again not a very. I wouldn't say it was the best Barcelona performance I've seen I'd just say it was a good Barcelona performance. Not close to the top, but they still came away with a 4-0 victory. You can say quality of opposition was not so up there, but they were one man down and they still did manage to score. But that guy, Lionel Messi, just keeps game after game coming up with different goals. From his free kick that was sublime to his other 2 goals. And then, of course, the best goal of the night had to come from Ousmane Dembele, who still is not convincing to me. I don't pay that kind of money for 5 minutes of brilliance. You have to give me 90 minutes of brilliance. So, but it was a good outing. Great performance for Lionel Messi and for Barcelona. But for Samuel Umtiti, now you are out of the clash against Tottenham, which is supposed to be the tough game. Let's see how Barcelona cope without you.
Thank you for that. Just before we take this break, Ogwene Femi comes back to tweet and says that Mourinho has criticized Luke Shaw and it's made him a better player of recent. Wenger defended his players and look where they are. No rule against a coach criticizing his players. It's the locker room on Smooth 98.1.
Love music. Love life.
I am so. That's the last one.
You're not.
Yeah. We're on point now.
Fair enough. Criticize them if it'll make them better. Mourinho, chef.
They'll be alright. Me, I don't think there's any hard and fast rule. If somebody does rubbish, call his name.
See, this person did nonsense, especially if you have been warning him.
Aye!
I think
And
I've told
Mourinho,
you.
he will throw you on.
Hold you down under the bus as the bus is driving. Mark an export on your face.
South African Airways, bringing the world to Africa.
He's not even going to play.
Nowadays, life is fast and unrelenting. Nowadays wants, nowadays demands, nowadays expects and needs more. We are pushed and stressed more than ever.
A few years back, social media didn't have this much relevance to people. Now they take it so seriously.
Oh yes, now that's where players can
At the Deeper Life Bible Church, join us.
can speak their mind.
Services on Sundays.
And if a play this story, you read it half. And yeah, goes like. And if a player suggests, and I think he's right that he must have said something that the Italian FA considered serious, because they gave the guy only a 4-match ban. It's not for kicking, spitting, and elbowing somebody. 4-match ban.
Some car insurance.
In other questions, what is song?
Which song?
I used to play for Manu.
There's a song that I used to play for Man U
Used to
or
play for
Arsenal.
Man No, yeah, like Asian dude.
Oh, that's an old man. Oh,
I
that's
know.
right.
That's what I'm just wondering, like, because I just really liked that. He was the only Manu player I ever really liked.
That's
And I
an
don't
old
really
guy.
know why. I know.
Where did he
I'm just
retire
wondering
from?
where he is. What happened to him?
Take out your car insurance with the
Gentlemen.
Out of facts by Amazon. Car insurance and pay.
Tega.
I feel like call my name. Tell me why.
What's the name calling
I
going
don't
to do?
understand.
Roll-on to keep them fresher for longer, so they trust the new Dubai Roll-On. The new Dubai range of roll-ons is expertly blended to keep you fresh all day long. Dubai, freshness gets you further.
Studio. And we are back inside the locker room. Welcome. We've got our final sports story to share with you.
Sassuolo winger Federico Di Francesco has rubbish claims that he provoked Juventus forward Douglas Costa with racist insults, which resulted in the Brazilian spitting in his face. Now, Brazil international Costa later posted an apology to his teammates and fans on his Instagram account, although he replied to one comment by saying that people did not know what Di Francesco had said to him. He said, or he wrote, "You do not know what he said to me, but no big deal. I say sorry to all those I have to say sorry to because I did wrong."
Yeah, he did wrong and he's getting only a 4-match ban. Wow. I thought it would be longer, but that's all he's getting.
Matches is plenty. It's like, why are you saying?
What
like
are you
this?
saying? You spat at somebody, you elbowed, and then you kicked. Look, that's 8 at least.
Did it connect though? Did
8, everything 8. If I'm nice, so when I'm coming back from church, I'll give you an 8-match ban. I'm telling you. But what it is at the end of the day is that when he posted saying something like, "You don't know what he said to me," everybody just automatically thought he said something racist. And so Di Francesco is coming out to say, "Look, he didn't say anything. I didn't say anything racist too. I don't know what I said that would cause him to spit at me. Whatever it is, he was wrong. He's been punished. I don't think it's adequate, but yeah, he will serve his time. But what's important is that Juventus face Valencia. They need to win, and I think they will."
All right. Thank you very much for that, Tega. We've come to the end of the show this morning. See if we can get in a couple messages before we round up. Henry says, "Griezmann, keep your head down. Shut up and put in work. You don't hear Messi and Ronaldo talking about Ballon so they win it. Please." That's like begging. Very serious stuff. While up on Twitter, we've got this one in from Timmy.
Timmy Ajax. Timmy says, "How did Mo Salah become the third best player in FIFA ranking? He and his brother Neymar was 0% yesterday."
So sorry about that. On that note, we're done. Continue the conversation and ask those other questions to Tega Onojaife. You can find her up on Twitter as Tega Supreme. Very straightforward. You'll continue to listen to Valentine and I here this morning up until 10 a.m. And coming up, we're going to be talking about the Austrian state elections inside of Lagos Talks 981. That's going to be taking place this Saturday. And of course, there are interesting actions that have taken place just before that. So keep listening. It's Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1.